Hello, I'm Christine Darg, and welcome to our Exploits Ministry Prayer Center here in Jerusalem. We have entered the time on the Hebrew calendar referred to as dire straits, when the Jewish people remember the calamities that have befallen them. And the world is experiencing terrible calamities right now. Within this past week, Germany has had 4 savage attacks. And even today, there are reports of a priest in France having been beheaded at a mass. What is going on? The enemies are coming into our nations, and they have a battle cry that their God is higher. And the God of Israel has been allowing these atrocities to happen as a judgment, because we see in the book of Jeremiah that God says, "When you forsake me, I allow calamities to come into your land." Now, we do have some good news during dire straits. We want to thank all of the intercessors who prayed with us to minimize the impact of this Satanic concert that was held here over the weekend, beamed into Jerusalem from Belgium, into an arena that could hold 15,000 people. But apparently the Israeli youth do have some discernment. And thank you for praying, because reports are only over 1,000, less than 10% occupancy actually attended. So that Satanic event was under-attended, and it was a loss for the promoters. All this 3 week during dire straits, between the 17th of Tammuz on the Hebrew calendar and the 9th of Av, the most ominous day on the Hebrew calendar, we are praying Zechariah 8:19, which says that in the future, in the Messianic kingdom, all of the fast days of the Jewish people, all of the days of mourning in which the book of Lamentation is read and remembered, will in fact become days of joy and days of feasting. Also, I want to share a principle in this prayer alert, because the jihadists are shouting that their God is higher. I want to read a verse that was in my daily reading today, and it was from Psalm 89. And here the psalmist says, "Blessed are the people who have learned to acclaim you, O Lord, those who walk in the light of your presence." And in the Hebrew, the meaning of acclaim here, those who acclaim the Lord, is those who have learned to give the festal shout. And this refers to trumpet fanfare, meaning that God is present on the scene. And because the book of Ephesians teaches that believers in Messiah are seated in the heavenly places, high above all power and principality and rule, high above ISIS, we can give the festal shout over our nations and believe that those of us who walk in the light of his countenance are still blessed. And as we shout the joyous shout of victory, even in times of darkness, even in times of dire strait, we can still see tremendous victories happening. For example, as the Democratic National Convention is underway, we can give the festal shout, and things that have been kept in darkness, God is allowing to be exposed in this hour. And so I want to encourage you today to take Psalm 89 and verse 15 and say with me, "Blessed are the people who have learned the joyous shout." And it says in the book of Numbers that the shout of a king is in our camp. We can triumph in days of darkness because we are seated with Messiah in heavenly places. And even though God is allowing our nations to be judged at this time, in the midst of darkness, the light is growing amongst believers, and revival power is growing as we learn to acclaim our God. And as we corporately worship him, his presence comes in the midst as we are the salt and the light in our nations. Stay in touch for more prayer points at our website, jerusalemchannel.tv. Until next time, I'm Christine Darg, earnestly contending for the faith and blessing you out of Zion today. Shalom.